What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to the channel. We're getting a pretty late start to today's video, but we do have a special mod going on the car to complete the front and the rear combo to get the suspension at least just a little bit better on the IS250. The last few days I have been feeling a much bigger difference, at least with the Megan strut bar in the front. We do have a F Sport sway bar going in the rear to hopefully at least balance out the front and the back, because I do feel like the back is lacking just a little bit, and hopefully this sway bar does the trick. But let me show you guys what we have today. So we do have this pretty nice F Sport sway bar going on the rear. It is a little bit heavier and it is a little bit sturdier than the Megan Racing strut bar, which I think will make a huge difference. It did come with some brackets that are supposed to go on the car when we do mount it back up. That's what we have today, and I think it'll be a much bigger difference compared to stock. So let's go ahead and jack up the car, take off the old sway bar, take off the stock sway bar, and then go ahead and put in the F Sport one. So removing your sway bar and putting in a new one is a pretty easy process. Not as easy as the front. You do have to jack up the car to get underneath the car to get off the old one and then put in a new one, but the process isn't too bad. And it's going to be this bar right here. So for both sides, it's going to be the exact same process. So you're going to have to unbolt these two bolts for the brackets on the sway bar, and then up here it might be a little dark, but you're going to have to unbolt this side of the bar from the end link, and that'll remove from that side. So what we're going to do first is we're going to remove this one, and then we're going to remove the brackets. So the bolts up here that you're going to remove from the end link is going to be a 17mm socket. So you can either use a wrench or you can use a socket. So we'll leave that in there. We're just going to leave it like halfway unscrewed. And then to remove these brackets, these two bolts for the brackets up here, these are going to be 12mm, and I'm just going to use socket wrench to remove that, because I think it's a little easier to do that. You can obviously use a gun, but I'm gonna just use this. Alright, so now that I got both of these bolts for the brackets unloose, I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up this one and just completely remove it. And then without removing these, I'm gonna go onto the other side, and then we're gonna loosen those just so it doesn't like just completely fall when I remove all the bolts. For the most part, I got both bolts that are connected to each end link out. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove the brackets now. So I'm going to go ahead and pretty much do take one bolt off one side and then one off the other, and then just vice versa. Keep doing that until all the bolts are off. So now that you got the brackets out, it's going to pretty much hang freely, and all you have to do is just disconnect it from the end link. So just remove it from one side, and then you should be able to remove it from the other. The only hard part is you're going to have to maneuver around the exhaust pipe and just kind of finagle your way out of it, like I am. You don't hit yourself in the face. Okay, nice. So we got the OEM sway bar out. Let's go ahead and compare this one to the F Sport. Alright, so it looks like we ran into a slightly minor, major problem in this sway bar install, which I'm lightweight, kind of not surprised, but I am kind of surprised. So if you look at the sway bar down here, this is the stock one. You will see a bracket on this side at least, and this isn't supposed to come off. This top one is supposed to be connected to the car, while this bottom one is supposed to end up just falling off while we unscrew the bolts, but for some reason it did. If you see on this one is pretty much stuck onto the sway bar and the rubber piece here, but we spent the past 15 to 20 minutes trying to take off half the bracket, and I don't even think it's usable, because all it's supposed to be is just this thing around the sway bar, and then those brackets are just supposed to fall off, and it's not supposed to be connected to the sway bar, which is kind of sketch. My brother's actually trying to take off the rubber piecing off of the original bracket, and I'm going to take a go at it too, but I might have to go to Lexus and just grab a few more of these, because I think these are busted. I don't even think we can use them even if we get all the rubber stuff off. What the hell? And I don't even think we're gonna be able to put this F-Sport sway bar on tonight. So this might have to wait until tomorrow until I go to Lexus and grab new brackets, which sucks, but it's just something that we gotta do.
Several days later.
All right guys, so it's been a few days, and like I think I said in the last clip that I was gonna take it to Lexus tomorrow. Let me just give you guys a rundown of what happened. So I called Lexus the next day and was like, yo, you guys have this specific part, I got the part number, blah blah blah.
Yo, sorry, it's on back order. Don't have it. No other Lex dealers have it. GG, NT, good luck.
So I was like, damn, what am I gonna do? Like, riding around with no rear sway bar for the past few days, I was a little sketched out, but I did anyway. So what I ended up doing was I looked online, I had to scavenge around, see if I could find this bracket somewhere, checked AutoZone, checked O'Reilly's, see if I could find it. Nobody had it, but this one company did. On eBay, they had this bracket come off straight from the ISF. So here it is. So this is the bracket I specifically needed for the rear sway bar. One's for each side, so one's for the driver's side and one's for the passenger side. This one looks a little different from the stock ones, and I'm pretty sure I did a little bit of research, and for some reason the 2009s, and I'm not sure if the 2010, because I know the 09s and the 10 are they're pretty much the same. This bracket is glued on or molded together to the sway bar, so you can't, if you end up removing this, you're gonna remove this. If you want to upgrade to this, you're gonna have to get a new bracket, and you can't reuse this. You guys might need to check up on that before you do the install, but at least for the 09 and I'm pretty sure the 2010, you will have to buy new brackets. I tried to search around for this everywhere. The only place that had it was on eBay. So shout out to 541 Motorsports. They're all the way up in Oregon. It got to your boy in like 2 days. They also gave us a sticker, which is gonna go on the bottle right there in the back. So shout out to 541 Motorsports for having these in stock. Unfortunately, the one that I bought from them was the last pair that they had, and I tried to search around for more, but unfortunately I couldn't find any. So if you guys are gonna do this install, just make sure that you guys know which brackets you guys need. And I'll put the Lexus part number of the bracket just in case you guys do need it as well. Because some of you may need it, some of you don't, but at least for the 09s, I think you guys might need it. But anyway, let's go ahead and jack up the car, put the sway bar in, and then let's actually go for a test drive and let's see how this feels. You're gonna have to get the F-Sport sway bar and kind of finagle it in the way you got the old sway bar out. Now that the sway bar is in place, all I did was thread it through the end links. And now that it's kind of like hanging in place, if you just let go, it's gonna like obviously let go. And then we can go ahead and put in the brackets, and I'll show you guys the correct way to do that, because there is a certain type of orientation that you want to put your brackets in when you're putting the sway bar in. So this bracket comes with the F-Sport sway bar, and you're supposed to put this in a certain orientation when it bolts up to this point where the bracket's supposed to be. And as you can see, you can kind of twist it and manipulate it in the way that it's supposed to be positioned, but there's certain notches, and if you can see at the bottom here, there's certain notches that fit perfectly with this bracket. So the smoother end, make sure you put the smoother end of the bracket pointing towards the bottom of the car, and then the more like rugged one, as you guys can see, point it more towards the top of the car so it's touching the actual top of the bracket, because that's the correct way that you're supposed to put it, or else it's just not going to work. So make sure you have it in that position and you should be good to go. All right, so after about 10 to 15 minutes of tightening everything down, making sure everything's in place, everything looks secure, everything feels secure. So let me show you guys how the end product looks like. So obviously this is a mod no one will be able to see and no one will really know unless you're driving it or you tell them, but this is how the sway bar in the back is going to look like. Pretty simple, you know, nothing too crazy, nothing too extraordinary. It's just that it adds a little bit more pop that keeps your car more steady, you know. So overall, I think this mod was very easy to do, nothing too hard, nothing a beginner mod person who's still getting into the car scene can. It's not impossible for them to do. I think it's very easy to do. You just got to make sure you have the right tools and make sure you have that bracket, because that's definitely what stumped me. But I'm glad we were able to get it on. I'll end up updating you guys within the next few days, the next few videos on how it feels compared to no sway bar in the back and compared to the stock sway bar in the back. If you guys found this video helpful, definitely give this video a big thumbs up. And if you guys aren't already, definitely subscribe to the channel down below. And again, shout out to 541 Motorsports for sending out this part. I definitely appreciate you guys. If you guys haven't checked them out, definitely check them out. I'll put their info in the description down below. But until the next video, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.